Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2! Today it's going to be a match between Whirlwind and Zoonik here on Dethaura, the latter edition, a new map. On the latter, bottom right side of the map, we have the red Protoss player, it is Zoonik. And in the top left, it is the blue Protoss player, Whirlwind. Now, one of these players is subscribed to me on patreon.com/Falcon Paladin for $10 a month, which gives them the right to send me any replay once a month, and I will cast it. Alrighty then. So here we go. Blah. Whirlwind. Gateway first here from Whirlwind. Gateway first here from Zoonik. PvP builds have been the same for a very long time. You want to go 2 gates? Well, Gateway, Cybernetics Core, Gateway, and 2 gas, and then make whatever you want. But don't make Zealots. Adepts are good, Sentries are good, Stalkers are good. Oh, Zoonik. Zoonik. Oh, well, alright, hey, as Samacron says, if you pull all the probes to kill an enemy worker and you kill it, it's not a waste. Because I always say, don't pull your probes. Don't pull your workers if there's an enemy scouting. It's totally not worth it, but I guess if you do kill the scouting worker, it's worth something. Whoa, Zoonik's going a regular Protoss versus Zerg build. He's 1 gate expanding here. What is this? Oh my gosh, Whirlwind's doing the same thing. Okay, pro tip, guys. This is really dangerous. You will die to traditional PvP builds that other players know. So, like, go to lotv.spawningtool.com, find Protoss versus Protoss builds up top. There's a builds link. And do those. Because if somebody shows up with 2 Stalkers right now, I think you're just done. Right? Like they make second gateway, cyber core, 2 Stalkers show up, you have 1 gateway and a cyber core, and you're going to lose. Yes, you'll have an expansion, congratulations, but you will also be super dead. So I like this map. I've decided I have liked this map in the first 2 minutes I've been casting on it. We got purple crystals down here, some flowers. I like maps that have greenery. We have, I assume these are slow zones. Yeah. Oh, acceleration zone, Jeller. You go faster in this? Hey, acceleration zones are new. I'm liking it. I'm liking this quite a bit, actually. Okay. All right. I support these plans now, surprisingly. Regardless, robotics facility. I love it. I love a robo facility opening just because if you have a lot of immortals, you're going to have a pretty good time in most PvPs, unless your opponent is going for mass void ray, which we have seen recently on the channel. A PvP where somebody went mass void ray and the other person made immortals, and it was rough. It was really, really rough stuff. Anywho. Oh, I should have watched the Adept. Oh, here we go. Whee! Adept, you're so zippity. I like it. So a couple Stalkers out here from Zoonik. Whirlwind doesn't have any more than 1 Adept because he doesn't have the other gateway quite yet, and the Stalkers are going to chase him out. You know, pro tip here, Whirlwind, you could shade in. Like if your shade's available and it's not, so what we want to do is walk up here, and then when you're getting attacked, shade in while you're running away. And then you can scout what's going on, right? Then you can see the gateways, you can see the Twilight Council instead of, you know, you're a robo, so things are different. That's good to know. Resonating Glaives is a possibility here. Could just be Archons. Archons pretty good in PvP. They're just tanky, they're big, they don't take bonus damage from anything, and they do bonus damage to Zealots, which is what a lot of PvP battles turn out to, is a lot of Zealots. Just for mineral dump and whatnot. So, Whirlwind going here for a robotic spay. I like it. I like it quite a bit here. Going for disruptors in a PvP is actually kind of nuts. So let's see how this works out for you, Whirlwind. Let's see what Zoonik is up to here. APM for these players is 96 for Whirlwind and 78 for Zoonik, which puts us about in platinum, I'd say. Platinum, low diamond APMs. Again, APM is not everything. There definitely could be like a Masters GM player who's running at 75 APM. Not usually. It is not a very common thing, though. Yeah, it's just lush and green, and there's stalactites everywhere, and there's dinosaur bones. Because map makers really like the dinosaur bones doodads. And in this situation, it implies it's a jungle where dinosaurs either currently live or used to live, because those bones are on, you know, they're on top of the ground. Which implies they were here at some point, and now they're all dead. So I assume the Protoss wiped them out when they arrived, because they are, well, they like to glass planets. So I think they're okay with murdering some wildlife. See, this is the problem. Stalkers showing up, killing one of your stalkers. Nice Guardian Shield Whirlwind. Nicely done. Good job there. Gonna lose that Adept. This is looking bad. Pulling back is smart, but, oh, that sentry's going to go down. And sometimes it just comes down to how many stalkers do you have. This is why people, when they make their robo, they usually make an immortal first. If you had an immortal here, Whirlwind, this would go so much better for you. But as it stands, your forge is depowered. As it stands, some of your probes are going to die. So that's terrible news. And Colossus, blah, blah. Colossus doesn't actually do any bonus damage to stalkers. They really shouldn't be afraid of it. But did that work? No, Zoonik, come back. You got this. Just focus the Colossus, and then everything else will die. You have better numbers. He's so afraid of the Colossus. Bad Zoonik. No, you have to know what you're good against. Colossus is great against, you know, light units. Like Zerglings and Hydralisks and Zealots, for sure. But not so great against stuff like armored targets that are these Stalkers. God, they're so afraid. Look how afraid they are. Amazing. Alright, well, that game could have been over right there. It could have come down to they just target fire the Colossus, snipe it down. They have more Stalkers, and then they just keep sending Stalkers over and they win. Oh, there's a Warp Prism for Zoonik. Zoonik. And just warping in additional Stalkers at the front is so good. He's making additional gateways because he recognizes he's floating 2,000 minerals and 700 gas. Yes, good call. Use those warp-ins, man. Get more gateways for more warp-in availability. That's what I always say. I mean, it's not what I always say, but could be. Boom, 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 ba-da-ba-dum, boom, 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 ba-da-ba-dum, boom, 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 ba-da-ba-dum, boom, boom. It's so intense for, like, warm-up music. Third base coming in for Whirlwind. Loving that. Zoonik. Yeah, it's expansion time, buddy. You really should be taking a third by now, especially if you're on the offense. If you show up at your opponent's base with more Stalkers than they have and you're keeping them there, that's when you expand. As Day9 always used to say, expand while attacking. Like, if you show up and they have a giant army and you have to run away, maybe don't expand right then, because they might come kill you. But especially if you're keeping them pinned in their base like you were a minute ago, Zoonik, you're going to have a good time expanding. Like the Immortal play here. Immortal's like disgustingly good against Colossus because they don't take bonus damage from them, but they do bonus damage to them. Yes, Immortal good unit in PvP in really most scenarios. Again, unless your opponent's going Sky Toss. In which case, just make a million Stalkers and win. Pro tips. Observer cruising in. Loving that from Whirlwind to see what is what here. And, well, the answer is, what is what here? Immortals in production. Forge getting upgrades. Also going for charge for your Zealots, which I really appreciate. Army supply 60 to 52. Pretty even at this stage. Zoonik is up, but not by a whole lot. Worker count is better for Whirlwind, and he does have 3 bases rolling, which is really going to win him the game at this point, I feel like. To get the Immortals in there. I don't know. I feel like he's gonna do okay. I really do. If he just stands and engages. Colossus used to be incredible in PvP. It used to be who got the most Colossus would win. That's not what this is, though. But things have changed. The Colossus have been nerfed pretty effectively. The Immortal's not firing, which is a problem. Come on, Zoonik. Immortals need to be firing there, but getting some Stalkers in, going after some probes is nice. I like it. Ooh, and look who's taking who's got a third. Zoonik has a third. He was sneaking it on me. Alright, well, who's got upgrades? Well, it's, +1 armor for Whirlwind. Wait, hang on. +2 attack for Zoonik? Not bad, dude. Not bad at all. This army runs away from the Colossus as they have been this entire game. But the +2 attack is kind of serving these Stalkers fairly well. Oh, Zoonik's immortal. Why are you alone? What happened? Oh, you're dead now. Yes, see? Bonus damage versus armor. Focus the Colossus. Focus the Colossus. Yes, good job microing, but it's dead now. Zoonik actually blinked on it, and Zoonik is pulling back. He's going to focus down Stalkers that are trying to warp in. More Stalkers. Oh, Zealots coming into the main base. Go after the probes. Go after the probes. Killing this gateway is nice. There you go. Going to sneak in here and go after the probes. All right, Whirlwind is going to lose some of his workers here. He is down to 42 on 3 base, which is not super ideal. It is 50 for Zoonik. His 3rd base is not saturated, but he is horribly oversaturated on his main. He needs to do a transfer. Pro tip for Zoonik, if you have a red over your Nexus, that means you have too many workers there. Move them away until it's not red anymore. All right, so responding force here from Whirlwind does manage to take out the Zealots, which is incredibly annoying stuff. Zealot Warpins in your main base. Everybody hates that. Nobody is like, oh, doesn't sound too bad. We can handle that. Nope, Protoss, Terran, and Zerg all hate it immensely. Zerg can handle it a little bit better, I think, just because Lings are fast and Banelings are fast and Banelings and Lings are good. Whereas Terran, a little bit slower on their spawns, a little bit chunkier, have to like navigate through your own building. Same with Protoss. Extremely, extremely annoying stuff there. It is 34 to 32 army supply. It's been pretty good. Oh, he did the transfer. He did the transfer, but now he has too many workers for 3 bases, and he needs a 4th base. Come on, Zoonik, you can do it, man. Get a 4th base. Whirlwind is too afraid to murder you. Does he know? He's thinking about going up that ramp, and he's like, you know, going up ramps is real scary. Let's not do that. Let's take a trip through the, what is that called again? Acceleration Zone Generator. Through the Acceleration Zone Generator, of course. More Colossus on the way from Whirlwind. I do not support this. It's really, I mean, if your opponent's going Stalkers, Immortals are going to be so much better for you. The Immortal count is winning for Zoonik right now, but the sneaking around the southern side is winning for Whirlwind. So, oh, 4th base is trying to come up here from Zoonik, but the Stalkers can cancel that. This is why you don't ever set your army in the middle of the map. Either be attacking or defending. Because when you're away from home, this stuff happens. And you want a base trade if you're on the other side of the map, but if you're in the middle of the map, you can't really do that, so suddenly you're coming back home, and suddenly all your probes are dying, and, ooh, Blink on top. That's aggressive stuff. +2 attack, still serving Zoonik pretty well here. Ew, another Blink. He saves the 4th, which is nice. He loses some probes, which is probably good for him in the long run right now. Oh, saturate your gases. That's what the problem is here. If you saturate your gases, you'll be good. Excellent. Bit of a push on up. Additional upgrades I would not say no to from either of these players. Whirlwind is getting +2 attack, which is nice. +3 would be amazing. Whoa, Overlord, or Observer speed is done rather for Whirlwind. Look how zippy that Observer is. Very nice stuff. 3rd base in a bit of trouble here. Okay. All the Stalkers decided they're going to die. So, whoa, never mind. We're going to blink up, kill the Colossus, which we learned how to do about 5 minutes ago. Going to fight against these Zealots, which can't get us around, and you're packed back here, which is really nice stuff. Oh, that is so many dead probes, too. Whirlwind's down to 35 total probes. Can he get out is the question. 41 probes have died for Whirlwind today. He still has 35. He's doing a good job. He's doing a good job continuing to produce. But he does manage to chase away Zoonik. Zoonik's down to 4 army supplies. Zoonik has a major problem of not spending his money while he's in combat. At all. He just made 10 Stalkers. He still has about 1,200, 1,400 in the bank. Whirlwind's spending his money pretty effectively. Easier to do when you have lost as many probes as he has, to be fair. So 4th base getting transferred on into Whirlwind counterattacking because Zoonik doesn't have an army to defend because he wasn't making anything during the last attack, and suddenly more probes are going to die. This Nexus will probably go down. I mean, Zoonik's got 10 Stalkers, which is nice, but the upgrade advantage is now in Whirlwind's corner, considering he has +2 attack and +1 armor, and Zoonik does not have the armor upgrades. That said, another warp into Stalkers here, because again, he has the bank to do that every cooldown, and does he just barely hold this? Dude, Zoonik just barely holds this. This port, remember what I said about Colossus versus Stalkers? They're not good, guys. Colossus not good against Stalkers. It's not they don't do any damage, because they obviously do, but it's just, it takes them forever to kill Stalkers, and Stalkers are hitting them really hard every time, and is bad news bears. 18 to 28 army supply. So the swing is real, ladies and gentlemen. Whew, this is a pretty good match. Pretty good PvP. Non-stop attacking, defending action here. It's been a lot of Stalkers, which is nothing to be surprised about. Or a boots, if you happen to be Canadian, which I know some of you are from Canada, so we'll make yourselves at home. Heard that Tim Hortons kind of went terrible after Burger King acquired them in like 2014. Is that true? I've never been to a Tim Hortons. I've been to Canada a couple times, but never been to a Tim Hortons. Maybe I should have gone before everything went bad. Whew. Stalkers. More Colossus here. I do not support this Whirlwind. I'm going to stop saying it, but seriously though. Disruptors or Immortals are a much better use of that robotics facility if you're trying to go kill a Protoss player. 100%. Disruptors are overpowered at this level. Let me just tell you that right now. Disruptors are overpowered at this level of StarCraft because it's hard to split. If you're at this level of StarCraft, if a Nova came in now, Zoonik would not see it coming and everybody would die and then you'd win. A Disruptor, stupid, overpoweringly great. The lower you go on the ladder. Like, again, they get played at the professional level. So that's how good they are. Even pros struggle against them. So what would these players struggle with? Whirlwind going for +3 attack. Zoonik gets 2, but he's way behind on that front. Tech here, about the same for both. Again, the upgrades are fairly even. Static defense has not really been a thing that Zoonik is worried about all that much. Whirlwind making shield batteries here and there, though. Just a little bit. Whirlwind going around. Zoonik coming around this side. This might turn into another base trading style situation. Zoonik really needs to stop hanging out in the middle of the map. Like, positioning-wise, it's really bad to be out there. Especially if you're blind to what your opponent is doing, because this keeps happening. Like, either be attacking or be defending. You can't just live out there. Zoonik's like, he wasn't quite sure what to do. He's coming home. Third base dead. Thank you very much. And then Whirlwind doesn't get greedy, doesn't keep pushing in, pulls out. And Zoonik's down in Nexus and a bunch of workers. That said, he still has 40, which is a decent number for 3 bases to have. Whirlwind's on 3 bases himself. He's going to take a 4th here about the 12 o'clock or the 1 o'clock or so. Zoonik. There you go. See? Little small groups around this side to see what's what. No, hold on. You really want vision on both sides of the map, though. You did this last time. Keeps trying to guess where Whirlwind is going to come kill him, and he's guessing the wrong way. Whirlwind just goes the opposite way, where Zoonik is. Whirlwind a little bit more defensive this time around, it looks like. He is staying closer to home when he's not actively attacking, which is how you do this thing. And nice cancel. The reaction time on that cancel was pretty good from Whirlwind. I was expecting it to be a little bit rougher in that the Nexus would die without getting a refund on it, but nope. On top of it. On top of the game. Whirlwind working on +2 armor, which is going to put him distinctly ahead. Really ahead in the upgrade advantage column right now, which is where you want to be. Zoonik is expanding again. He's just going to overwhelm Whirlwind here. If Whirlwind can't get a 4th base. I mean, I guess, okay, I thought Zoonik had replaced his 3rd. Never mind. Better position now. So the Archons doing, again, pretty good stuff here. The Zealots all die. The Stalkers are chasing the Colossus. The micro back is pretty fantastic right now. The Archons making sure the Zealots don't have anything to do with their lives right now. The focusing on the Colossus is actually kind of allowing a lot of these Stalkers to die. Like, they got the Colossus, but at what cost there? So here's the trick. Oh, and a good game. Zoonik taps out. He has 0 total army. Because, again, he's not spending his money. Actually, hold up. Was he spending his money? Why does he have 100 minerals all of a sudden? That was it. That was him spending his army. Or spending his bank. Nicely done. But, man, Zoonik ends up losing all of his units. 112 Stalkers died. To 68. And 4 Immortals. Like, if you told me this is what the game is going to look like... Zoonik's going to make 112 Stalkers, 7 Archons, and 4 Immortals. And Whirlwind is going to make 68 Stalkers and 8 Colossus and 15 Zealots. I would say Zoonik wins every day of the week. But no, it was good micro from Whirlwind, pulling those Colossus away. The Stalkers were, you know, just kind of foolishly chasing them around a little bit. Instead, I mean, it's tricky, right? You want to attack them if they're attacking you. But if they're pulled so far away from the combat, they're not a threat anymore, then focus on what's in front of you, and you're going to have a better time with it. It's tricky. I know it's tricky, Zook. I'm not trying to make it feel too bad here, but... yeah, great job. Both players losing about 40 probes at the end of the day. 1 Nexus goes down for Zoonik, which he doesn't replace. And then he just, you know, he's got 44 workers, doesn't quite have the bank to remax here. He's down 66 to 0 army supply. So here's the trick. If you're attacking on the other side of the map and you still have a pretty healthy economy back home, don't tap out this early. Like, for sure, you can make it work. You can wait for another big round of stuff, make a few more stalkers, and maybe be okay. Tricky to say. But anyway, quick shout out to Aaron, who sent this game in. Appreciate the support, Aaron. I hope you enjoyed the cast. I know you are a loyal Protoss member of the channel, and I appreciate the continued support. So, that is going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2. And a bit of a mid-rank madness game, a bonus one for the middle of your week. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.
Before us, our honor guides us. Me with you, you with me. We are as one. Justice, our duty is unending. I feel your presence. We are as one. Sense a soul, a soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala Adu. Ascension is before us. Our honor guides us. Me with you, you with me. We are as one. I sense a soul, a soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala Adu. sense of soul. sense of soul. The soul in search of the answers. May the gods watch over you. Kushala Adu. Kalarulas. Naramulas. Antaranas. Naslaran. Kinalatu. Casar di Templare. Daramanaka. Oshara Sashina. Kinalatu.